Hello, everyone. This is the 22nd and 24th President of the United States, Grover Cleveland here, with a message for the day laborers of America. You can watch the Bonehead cartoon by clicking the link in the description. If you don't believe in clicking the link in the description, then we've exceeded all the help I'm able to provide for you today. Well, bugger off. Ah! Ah!
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Woo! I'm having a rough time starting the show. I almost didn't put the theme song in, and I tried to rescue it anyway. But it still keeps playing all glitchy, and I don't know why. Look, the camera's all out of place. See my little Mr. Bone Jangles over there. Well, we're gonna do a page. We're gonna do another page. Look what I drew today. I didn't draw the duck. That was yesterday. I drew this guy. This little flower guy. I like him. What else? Oh, yesterday I said I was gonna be nice to my future self. And I said, I'll show you at the end how I'm gonna be nice to my future self for once. And then I didn't do it. I forgot because I'm so out of practice. But I'll show you now. Whoa, gotta turn it this way. So, what I meant to do yesterday that I didn't do was erase my pencils. Because I never do that. And one of these days I'm going to be kicking myself for never doing that. Past me is always a jerk to future me. Sometimes on purpose. La 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 la. So, what's going on in the world today? Mariah Carey's back in the news? I don't know. Maybe. I have not looked into Mariah Carey. That would be a strange coincidence if she was back in the news and I just happened to say that. Did she ever leave the news? I don't know if that's a thing. Wow, I didn't even finish inking. See, these are the surprises you find when you erase your pencils. He got no nose. Dude, man, got no nose. See, that's why I should make it a practice to erase the page when I finish it. I'm only leaving these little notes at the bottom for dialogue. Just in case they're good notes. Dude man ain't got no nose. Down in this panel. Okay. So let's fix up a couple things right quick before moving on. This keeps confusing me, so it needs a little bit more of a shadow. I'll put it over here too. What else? What else? Oh yeah. So yesterday was such a beautiful day. After I did the live stream, I was waiting to do another stream with my brothers, because I do that sometimes. It's not live, but my brother Liam edits it, and then we go back, or then he uploads it later. But we're gonna do one of those shows last night, but I guess they weren't feeling it or something. And then, okay, I think that's good. I think that's fine. Okay, today's page. But when I didn't hear back from them, I went outside. This wasn't until midnight did I get outside. But I went outside, pulled up an art stream on my phone. I was watching this guy, Elliot Fernandez, ink his book, Doom Kicker. On Instagram, he does that. Elliot Fernandez, the jerkmonger, he goes by. And I love his. He does a show just about every day too, where he inks Doom Kicker. So I pulled him up with some headphones, and I was out there on my porch with a little bit of Kettle One and a cigar. That was a great time. It's a perfect night out. Even the distant sounds of traffic was so beautiful. I gotta draw these tiny details. This sucks. Okay, so what else? Then what? Then what happened, Ryan? I got into a fist fight with what's her name? Julia Garner. Okay, that part didn't happen. But now, man, am I glad I did that last night, because today's considerably gloomier than was yesterday. Okay, his shoulder, his back continues to there. Here's his arm. 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 This one's in shadow. At least up to there. Yesterday was my nephew's birthday, but we're having a birthday party for him and his brother together in about a week or two. Yeah, 2 weeks or so. Everyone's getting older, except for me. Let's see. So I can't talk about the content of this page, even though I'm burning to talk about the content of this page. No, not exactly, but I keep wanting to say stuff that I should shut up about. That just means I've got to think of other stuff to say, huh? I'm trying to get back on track with all the things I try to squeeze in every day, because I've been shirking my duties. And it's not funny. But I mean, they are duties, so it's a little funny. see now. This is the way we ink the book. Ink the book. Ink the book. This is the way we ink the book. All the ding dang day. I feel like this leg back here is too long, no? I'm also an art fraud, so I don't really know. I just make everything up as I go. Okay, there's Denton Crux. Kachoom. Gotta have, if I want to get confident lines, I gotta go a little faster than that. I gotta drag my brush a little more confidently, huh? It's like you gotta kind of master a balance of quick and accurate, or you gotta like strike a balance. Might not be perfectly accurate, but you want to come close to your target as you're going fast. Well, let's see. I'm scared to. Oof. I want it to be a finer line than the outside one. Stupid vat. Stupid book. Just be drawn already. Why isn't this book drawn already? There's the past me being mean to future me again. Not having finished the book already. All right. So this shouldn't be exceeding the water because it's contained inside the water. or formaldehyde or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Den Crux is. If he says it's water, maybe it's water. I believe scientists, even those of ill repute, even if everything they say is a lie, even if they're in the pocket of big media. No, I don't know. So this page boasts itself of being page 153. It's probably way beyond that because I've added a bunch of pages. So I don't really technically know which page it is anymore till the end of the book. And I scan them all in. So I've got a bunch of like page 80.2, page 80.3, page 80.4, page 94.2, stuff like that throughout the book. Stuff I added after the fact. All right. Boy, I sure hope I finish this page fast. Because I want to go out and play. Or cook myself a dinner or something. Both sound like good ideas. I also want to start animating more stuff to share on here. But, you know, it's like there's not enough stuff on my plate. I act like I need stuff to do. I did the most recent thing I animated. I'm not saying it's award worthy, but I did animate some stuff in the intro of the latest Namjust video on YouTube. So if you check out Namjust, NHMJUST, I should probably put that in the link someday, or in the links in the description someday. But not today, Junior. But Namjust, NAHMJUST on YouTube. Me and my brothers started doing like a show where we make fun of stuff, I guess. And the latest episode is called Monkeys Ain't People. There's some animation at the top of the episode. Not at the very top. Like I said, it's not remarkable. But I had fun. Also, it's a very funny episode. Don't even watch the other episodes because they're not as entertaining. We are so finding our way. But that one is like, I think that one is hysterical. Monkeys Ain't People. You can tell by how much I'm laughing in the episode, probably. Here is called the air rising to the top of the fluid. Um, I was debating whether or not to make her hair black. It is black, but I was thinking about how to handle it with her in this tube. I think I'll probably do like I believe it's called a self-ink line or a color hold when I color this, where I make all the line art a different color. This book is never going to be done. I've got to color all this too. Yikes! Oh. Here's her hair. Sucker. This is the worst time I've ever had blowing bubbles. Oh, boo-hoo, Ryan. You're working on your dream project and you're crying about it. You're the luckiest man alive. Shut up. Every day God hasn't blown me to bits with a lightning bolt. I should be kissing the ground. Missed a spot. I'm gonna miss my brain now that it's melted. Mm-hmm. Um, Confidence. It's eerily quiet on my part. I should say something, no? Oh, look! I didn't see Vucky's here. Heyo, dumb question. How do you know once you found something interesting? Mr. Freeze and Nora be like, yeah, kind of like that. How do you know once you found something interesting? Once you're like, once you want to know more. Okay. How have you been, Buck? So let me see. I've got to do something. New problem. Who knows more? Who knows more? Why? The Almighty and the Infinite. No, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're talking about. Okay. Good, I guess. Did you get anywhere on looking for a new job? Did you start? You did apply to one place. You might have found an experimental military truck a while back, except you can't get a proper ID on it. That seems like something that should be very easy to identify. I mean, I don't know, like legally, you must be able to identify it or something, right? You're gonna apply to another job by June. Yeah. My day job makes my head hurt these days. Let's see. I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna make both these walls black. I think that was what I intended. The owner couldn't find a VIN or any data play. Oh, that you think it's experimental? Maybe? That's interesting, though. You talk to owners of military vehicles? What do you do for a living, if I may ask, anyway? Of course, if that's if you don't want to say that's, don't worry about it. Let's see. You work retail, and that's partly why I want to find something truly special. Yeah, retail's no fun these days. If it ever was. You've probably told me that before. What can I say when I have nothing to say? I was watching a little bit of Pushing Daisies last night. And, man, it's still a beautiful, amazing show. And a shame that it never got a proper ending. It kind of like did a slapdash ending when they found out they weren't going to come back for season 3. But it would have been nice to see the end of that show. Pushing Daisies. It's about this guy. It's very like fairy tale-ish, fairy tale-like. It's about a guy who makes pies, and when he was a kid, he found out that he had this ability to bring dead things back to life. Oh, wait. Let me just see. You think standard 3-act story structure is flawed? I don't think so. That's what I that's kind of how I think of stories. But I don't know. Is there an official, unofficial ending? They were gonna wrap up the story in a series of comic books. It ended in like 2006 or 2007. And when it didn't get picked up for season 3, they were gonna do like a comic book. Brian Fuller, the creator, he also has talked about doing a musical and all kinds of other stuff, and it just nothing ever happened. He wanted to bring it back to Netflix, or on Netflix, and never came of it. I was just looking into it today to see if he was still talking about it. I think he's, I don't know. But it's been like 15 years or something. But, yeah. So it kind of like, I think I remember it ending like they kind of like say this happens and this happens and this happens. The end. But it sounds like they had some big ideas for the end of that. But it's very like colorful, and Barry Sonnenfeld, who does, I think he worked on Men in Black, and he worked on the Addams Family movies, and the series of unfortunate events. And he's got this kind of like neat hand. I mean, like he has a good like you can he brings like nice visuals to the table. And anyway, so this guy, when he was a kid, he finds out that he can bring dead things back to life, but only for a minute. Or what's the dang rules? It's it like if he touches a dead thing, it'll come back to life. But if he touches it again, it'll be dead forever. And he finds out the hard way with his mother. There's some rule with a minute too, and because and I don't remember what the deal is. And then he ends up bringing back to life his boyhood crush, the little girl next door. He brings her back to life, and they become a couple, but he can never touch her again, or she'll be dead forever. And he's also got this detective buddy that he's kind of like gotten into cahoots with since he was a child. So this detective has him touch dead people and ask them who killed them, so they can solve these murders and collect the reward. And it's a good show. It's such a cool idea for a show. And why there wasn't more, why they didn't let it wrap up is beyond me. You say he likes lighthearted darkness, I take it. Likes lighthearted darkness. Who's that? Does he keep the dead murder victims alive? Oh no, he has to. Why does he have to do it within? He can only keep them alive for a minute, and so he has to ask them all the questions within the minute. So he's always got like a stopwatch. But I forget. Oh, I know what it is. If he keeps them alive for more than a minute, something else dies in its place. He also has a pet dog that he brought back to life when he was a kid, named Digby, that he also never touches. He has like a back scratcher that he pets his dog with. Oh. So yeah, he does a lot of like kind of dark, not dark. I don't know how to put it. Like Dead Like Me is another really good one that he did. That also kind of, I don't think, got a proper ending. Like the show ended, and then they put out a movie, and the movie kind of sucked. And he also did one of my favorite shows um, called Wonder Falls, about a girl who um, like fake animals start talking to her, like toy animals and animals on people's shirts and stuff, and like wooden fish on plaques on walls or whatever, whatever it might be, like little logos and stuff. Um, Start talking to her and telling her to do things, and I like that one a lot. I like Brian Fuller's shows. The other guy, the Barry Sonnenfeld, I don't know what he does for the show. I don't know if he's like some kind of visual director or something, but he has a lot of yeah, kind of lighthearted darkness might be a way to put it. I don't know. It's like once I started seeing his style, I was like, oh yeah, that looks like him. Um, the whole necromancer thing. The yeah, Pushing Daisies. It was like he was trying to put like everything that he liked into one show. So he's like, what else do I like? Like fairy tales. What else? Pie. Uh, uh, Mystery. Like, I don't know. It's like anytime I thought of something I wanted to see, I would try to think of how to put it into Pushing Daisies. But yeah, it's a pretty cool. Where was I watching it? I was watching it on HBO Max, right? Maybe Netflix. I don't remember. I think HBO Max though. And Shy McBride, he kills me on that show. He's just this greedy detective guy, but he's the friend of Ned the pie maker. But I just like his character, um, Emerson Codd. Oh, you know what else? I think Shy McBride is also in The Frighteners with Michael J. Fox, that movie. And I think Barry Sonnenfeld also worked on that. Let me take a look. The Frighteners. I loved that movie. Also about death, dead people, and ghosts and stuff. Shy McBride plays a ghost in that. The Frighteners. I might be wrong about Barry Sonnenfeld working on that. I don't see his name. Robert Zemeckis. I don't know why I thought he might be involved in that. But that's a good movie. I like that movie. I want to see that movie again. Jake Busey is a bad guy in that. Gary Busey's son, who I once saw at C2E2. And that's my Jake Busey story. I could have met him, but I chose not to. The end. I don't know Jake Busey from anything other than The Frighteners. I couldn't even tell you anything that Gary Busey's been in. That's how out of touch with the Busey boys I am. I'm gonna see if that's streaming somewhere. Let me look into that. The Frighteners. Hulu with a premium subscription, but I just canceled Hulu. Amazon Prime Video. Boom, boom, boom. Premium subscription. Do I have that? I don't know. YouTube TV. It also says YouTube from $3.99, but is YouTube TV something different? I don't know. Sling. I can probably watch that on Amazon Prime now. Sucker. Oh, I didn't realize the arm was over here. The dog boy lives at home. Let's see here. So here's his arm. Should do it a little fainter. kung fu art. Hiya! It's gonna be like you say there's too many subscription services. Yeah, my let's see. Can Disney just buy everything and put it all on Disney Plus? Yeah, that'd be real helpful. My roommate was saying like, why isn't there like a service that will like lump all your subscription services into one thing, basically reinvent cable, uh, but like lump them all together so you can just watch them in one place and see all the stuff that you can watch in one place. Like if you've got Amazon Prime, if you've got like just put in your like info for Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, etc., and then you've got everything in one place. That doesn't save you money, I guess, but sounds like it might cost you more money. I don't know. There's something to that idea, though. Probably. And here's some drop shadow. Okay. Disney's just going to buy the internet. What a messed up day that would be. Let's see, what do I want to clean up here? I thought there was something else, but I don't see it. What are some childish foods like macaroni and cheese, grilled cheese? Peanut butter and jelly. Fish sticks. Cereal. Graham crackers. Lunchables. Go-Gurt. I feel like there's some obvious ones I haven't thought of yet. By the way, grilled cheese is one of my favorite things in the world to make and to eat. What is dinosaur oatmeal? My roommate always buys dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets. I don't know where he gets them, but he gets them. Oh, chicken nuggets, I guess, is another one I'm adding. Oh, so a while back I was talking about this she's not hip hop. What is she? I was talking about this musician I like named Betty Boo. She's like an English woman who did she put out 2 albums in the 90s, and I had never heard of her, but I guess she was kind of a big deal for a little bit. To some extent, like her music inspired the Spice Girls, I guess. But I had never heard of her until I found a tape of her album "Grr, It's Betty Boo" in a thrift store, and I just bought it on a whim, and I loved it. Well, she put out the 2 albums in the 90s, and then just kind of disappeared for 30 years. She stopped she was still making music for I think she was helping other pop stars put music together over the next 30 years and stuff like that. But she hadn't done any music of her own in 30 years. And all of a sudden, I opened up Spotify one day and it said, "New single from Betty Boo." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And so that was a few months ago. She put out a single called "Get Me to the Weekend." And she's got another single coming out tomorrow. I forget what she said it's called. Let's see if I can find out right quick. Betty Boo Mania on Twitter. Shining Star. Shining Star premieres tomorrow. Do I want to put this all to black? I think so. I'm going to do it. Don't think, do. Don't do, think. One of the two. We've been on over an hour. And I've got two panels almost done. What is that supposed to be? I read a G.K. Chesterton quote today where he says, "If you don't have rules, you will have rulers." Which is to say, if you don't temper yourself with rules, you will be owned by your own lawlessness, I guess? I don't know. It made sense to me. I'm feeling it. I need more discipline in my life right now. My discipline wanes in and out. I find I get real rigid with doing stuff every day and keeping up and eating right and stuff like that. And then one false move and it all goes to hell. Oh, how come I didn't do? Vucky says bye. By the way, how come you didn't do this comic digitally and print it out? That goes to the discipline thing a little bit. Oh, my desk is falling apart. Oh no, that's okay. That sounded so terrible. But I wanted to learn how to ink better because I was doing digital drawing for a long time where I wasn't even like using physical art tools for like years because I'd gotten so used to using tablet for everything that I was trying to get in the habit of starting to draw more, and I want to do a big. Also, part of it is I was getting so sick of having computer problems start and stop my life that I thought it would be a good idea to do a big project without needing a computer. But then I thwarted that idea by deciding to do it all live on YouTube. So I still have computer problems in my life. Anyway. What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. I actually have to hurry if I'm going to finish this page. Been on for an hour and a half or so. This desk is falling apart. I've had this desk for many years. And I just like the way it is. I keep having to like patch this desk back together. I like the way it is. It doesn't seem like too special of a desk, but I can't find one like it. There's not, it's just like that I have a cabinet and a drawer over here and then a wheel out like keyboard shelf. But to find it doesn't seem like a tall order, but I can't find one like it. It's the darndest thing. Okay. Oh, like I've literally drilled screws into it, taped it up. I'm I've bought a desk since, like for out in the hallway there. But even that desk, it's really nice. But it's like when I go to scoot my chair in, I'm always banging my knees on the part that the chair moves into, the like between the legs of the desk or whatever. It's not the same. I've looked high and low for a desk like this one. And I check back every so often, see if I can find something. And I'm bafflingly met with no results. To my liking. Huh? Chloomp. It's like a water cooler noise. Like when the bubbles. Bloop. Pull this out of Ted. I hear a dog. Stark silence. Stark silence. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air. What else in life is there to talk about? Surely anything. One time when I was a kid, I was riding my bike through some tall grass, and I was trying to get to these bike jumps. It was some kind of like dumping grounds for some kind of construction or something, where there was just these huge mounds of gravel that bike jumps had been formed into. They were really steep and exciting and scary. But I was riding my bike through this tall grass to get there, and one time a raccoon plowed its way through the spokes of my bike as I was pedaling through this tall grass. It just kind of like stopped me in my tracks and forced its way through my spokes, which doesn't seem like something a raccoon should be able to do. But it like morphed its way rudely through my spokes. It was weird. It could have gone around my tire. You know, the one moment my tire was in its way. It was so weird. It's like the rudest, most urgent raccoon on the face of the planet. So, bubbles. Yay, bubbles. Bubbles won't make me happy. What, pray tell, will? La, 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 la. You know, vocal warm-ups for drawing. It's how it's done, people. I don't know much, but now I'm drawing. Bubbles. Like inside an aero bar. There used to be this candy. I think I would see them in the United States. Or maybe I just got them when I went to Ireland. but I feel like I've seen them in the United States since then. There was a thing called an Aero bar, AERO, and it was like mint chocolate inside or something like that, and it just had a bunch of bubbles in it. I thought it was cool. Another thing I found out about when I was in Ireland was Weetabix, which was this cereal that I really thought was cool. It wasn't like, thinking back on it, it was like, I think I just liked what it was rather than how it tasted. But it was like uh, it was like you'd open the box of Weetabix and it was like a sleeve of cereal, but not like filled. What was it? So it was like a bunch of bricks of cereal. So you take a brick out, put it in your bowl, pour the milk onto the brick, scoop some sugar onto the brick, and then like mash it up with your spoon. And then you'd have a bowl of Weetabix. Another thing that I liked when I went to Ireland as a second grader was, I don't know what they were called, but it was like Irish sausages wrapped in like pancake dough. You would just like microwave them, I think, and it'd be it was kind of like a corn dog, but those like really delicious Irish sausages and pancake batter kind of stuff. That was good. I gotta figure out what those sausages are called. Those like really good Irish sausages. Because everyone needs to know about those and everyone needs to try them right now. But I don't know what they're called, so I failed you. My bad. Oopsie daisy. Oh, dude, look at all this fine, stinky detail. So all the water's going down. He's right. I should have. Bucky's right. I should have referenced Mr. Freeze for this stuff. focus it. Did I do a good job or a terrible one? I think terrible. What else? I remember when I went to Ireland in second grade. My mom is from this island, but we went to the mainland one day to like check out shops and things and do the souvenir thing. And I got to pick out whatever I wanted, and I had my mom buy me some Dennis the Menace comics, and not American Dennis the Menace, because there's an English Dennis the Menace too. I thought that was really strange. It's like, oh, they've got English versions of all our cartoons down here too. No, it was just Dennis the Menace. There's two Dennis Menaces. The Hank Ketchum Dennis the Menace, and then the weird Dennis the Menace. He's actually like a bad kid, I think, is the idea. And then he's got a dog named Nasher. We also bought, or I should say, my mom also bought for me a bunch of the Mr. Men books, which I used to read in. I didn't know they were English at the time, but I used to read. I used to check them out from my elementary school library. Like Mr. Nosy and Mr. Ticklish, or whatever the heck they were. There's like Mr. Tall, Mr. Fussy. I didn't know they were English at first until I found them in Ireland, and they had like all of the books there. Oh, and there's like Little Miss too. So there's like Little Miss Chatterbox, I believe, is one that I got in Ireland. How many years ago was that? I had to be 8. Six. I almost did the math wrong because I was thinking for a second that I'm 24 and I'm 34. And now I'm just depressed. Let's see. Yeah, 26 years ago. That's what I wanted to say, but I felt like I wasn't doing the math right still. But yeah, that should be right. 26 years ago. This might be too close for comfort. It's hard to draw with the camera might get in the way of the brush. So far, so good, though. Those were probably, I guess, those Dennis the Menace comics were the first comic books I ever owned. I was never really into comics all that much as a kid. But I didn't know any comics that I liked until I was a teenager. I remember, I think my cousin Chris gave me an issue of Spider-Man with the Vulture was the bad guy, who I had never heard of. I before the movies came out, I had never heard of any Spider-Man villain before in my life. I didn't know what Spider-Man was about, I guess. But yeah, he gave me a Spider-Man comic because I thought it looked interesting or something. And then I didn't care about comics at all until I discovered Jonan Vasquez and fell in love with Johnny the Homicidal Maniac when I was like 13. Well, that's not true. That's not true. I was... see, Invader Zim came out, and I found out about Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, and I wasn't able to get my hands on it until I had to be in middle school. Yeah, I had to be. maybe 14. '13, 14. And then and I was trying to make my own comic back then called The Frightening Niz. And Niz was a guy who was afraid that he was going insane. He was like seeing things. Notably, this kid that was standing on his front lawn. It was terrible, though. The whole stupid thing was terrible. What else? What other comics did I like ever? I got into Casey Green's stuff when he was doing Gun Show. I found out about him from a link that Jonan Vasquez had put up somewhere. He doesn't do the Gun Show anymore. He's always like shifting projects, but it's pretty much the same kind of thing. And then when I was in college, when I was at going to art school, my buddy Zach told me that the guy who created Earthworm Jim had started a webcomic called Rat Fist. And I started reading. I was like, I loved Earthworm Jim when I was a kid. Are you kidding? I want to see his cartoons. And I would read Rat Fist. He would update it with a page 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday, he would put up a new page. And honestly, it's his sloppiest, ugliest book. And when I look back on it, I'm like, how did this get me into Doug TenNapel? So I ordered a copy of the book when it was finished. I also have a Rat t-shirt. That I ordered through his website. I think through the Rat Fist site. Ratfist.com, which I don't think the comic is up anymore at all. It might have a preview, I don't know. But yeah, after I got that book, I might have bought the book a long time later. I don't remember. But I went to the library and checked out his first. Well, his first is actually Gear, but Creature Tech, something about it seemed more interesting to me. And besides, that's what the library had. The library had Rat Fist and some other. I mean, Creature Tech and some other ones didn't have Rat Fist. But I checked out Creature Tech and read that book, and then the end of that book hit me like a bus. And I was like, oh, you can do stuff with comics. That's interesting. I love Creature Tech. I was talking about earlier how like Brian Fuller would use Pushing Daisies to put anything he was interested into. It was a strange sentence, but I'm pretty sure it made sense. Like anything he was interested in, he would put into Pushing Daisies. Well, I think that was kind of what was going on with Creature Tech for Doug TenNapel. And for that matter, Scud the Disposable Assassin by Rob Schraub, I think, is also kind of like that. It's like whatever he thought was cool kind of got crammed into Scud the Disposable Assassin by Rob Schraub. But yeah, Creature Tech. I love that book. And now there's a color. So I have the black and white edition. It's kind of a nicer version of the book that I checked out from the library. And then there's also a color edition of it now that I also own, colored by Catherine Garner, who colors a lot of his books. And she's an amazing artist as well. But yeah, now I own everything except the second book of his that I checked out from the library all those years ago. So I've read it, but I never bought a copy of Monster Zoo. And I just read my copy of Tommysaurus Rex. That was the only one I hadn't read yet. And I own everything by Doug TenNapel. And you can probably see him all over my artwork now. He's also what got a big part of what got me into doing ink and brush. I taught myself ink and brush for this project. But I use the same brush that Doug TenNapel uses, who uses it because the guy who makes Calvin and Hobbes, made Calvin and Hobbes, Bill Wanderson, used this brush too, which I'm also a huge Calvin and Hobbes fan. I can't believe I didn't think to mention Calvin and Hobbes. I got my first Calvin and Hobbes book when I was in 4th grade. It's the Lazy Sunday book, and I would pull it off the shelf right over there, but it's falling apart. Well, I could, but it's not that falling apart, but it is tattered. It doesn't have a back cover anymore. Nothing touches Calvin and Hobbes. Nothing is as good as Calvin and Hobbes. It is hands down the best comic work there is. Masterful art, masterful writing, masterful character work. No one can touch Bill Watterson. But yeah, so what brush? This is the Winsor Newton Series 7 Sable Kolinsky. Though it might not be Sable or anymore. I don't know. But that's what I search for when I buy them. And I'm using a size number 3. Winsor Newton Series 7 Finest Sable. And Kolinsky is the other term that I don't see it on my brush, so that's the thing that maybe is different. Every once in a while they change something, I think. But that's what I look up, Sable Kolinsky. So my favorite Doug Tenable books, since he's my favorite, Iron West is awesome. I can't. If he's slowly trying to put out colored versions of all his black and white work, because he's got over 20 graphic novels out there, and only in the past 10 years he's been putting out colored ones. So he's trying to like slowly get his back catalog colored. And I will rebuy everything he puts out. Catherine Garner's working currently on coloring his second big book. No, I think it's his third. Because so his Gear was kind of like 6-issue comic that he did, and then had collected into Gear, and a Gear paperback, and then he did Creature Tech, and then he did Tommy Source Rex, and then he did Earthboy Jacobus, like one of my other favorite childhood artists. Tim Jacobus did the Goosebump books covers. Just a weird coincidence, because it's not like Doug DeNapo was reading Goosebumps books. Or maybe he was, I don't know. But let's see. So she's doing a colored edition of Earthboy Jacobus right now. Earthboy Jacobus is good, but I feel like I was more interested in the first act than the rest of the book. Personally. I might like it more if I read it now. I kind of like Black Cherry. Black Cherry's like a mafia thing with aliens. Black Cherry's also the only book he's done with like vulgar language and stuff. It's like that one. I don't know if he would ever color because it's supposed to be kind of noirish. I think is kind of the idea. He'll probably color it. I don't know, but it's probably the lowest on his priorities because I don't think he pitches that book too much because of the swearing and stuff. It's kind of like off his brand. But anyway, so I like Iron West. I think is really cool. It's like cowboys and robots. It's like the Old West and robots. And then I really like Cardboard, which it's about this dad who's a carpenter. He's like having a hard time finding work. It's like, and it's his son's birthday, and he has like no money to get him a birthday present, and he brings this guy gives him a cardboard box for whatever changes in his pocket. He's like, fine, we'll make something. And they get home, or he gets home and gives him the box, and they make a boxer out of the cardboard. And like a boxer man. And in the night, the boxer comes alive. And then because it's magic cardboard. And then I think the town bully, he gets Boxer Bill wet and kind of ruins him, and then steals some of the. Oh, that's what happens is he ruins him, and then Cam and his dad, they're trying to fix him when he gets home, and they take part of his cardboard or something. They take some of the scraps of cardboard and they make a cardboard maker, and then they fix up his legs and stuff. And then I think the bully kid, he gets wind of this magic cardboard, or like he realizes that he can steal it and make his own friends and monsters out of this magic cardboard. And so he starts making all these horrible, creepy things with the magic cardboard maker. And they start building their own cardboard world under his house. And it's just like getting out of control and freaky. It's such a good book. It's so good. If I could recommend like a starter book for someone to get into Doug TenNapel, I would definitely recommend Cardboard. It's probably his best book. Though Creature Tech is still like my standby. It was the most important to me and surprising, and it's a good one. What else do I like? Dude, if you go to, where does he sell it? I don't know. If you can get your hands on Bigfoot Bill 1 and 2, those are good. I can't wait for 3. That's like his most recent thing, aside from Earthworm Jim. He did 1 and 2 of an Earthworm Jim comic as well. Newt's was alright, but Newt's wasn't as grabby as I wanted it to be. It's a cool world, but not as it's 3 books, and I just thought I would be more into the story than I was. What else does he do? Ghostopolis is pretty good. Bad Island is all right. What else? I don't have them all here. He's also done Power Up and I'm trying to think of his other books even. Tommysaurus Rex is about a boy and his dinosaur. It feels a lot like a Steven Spielberg movie. I think that was the idea. There's Gear. There's about 4 Gear. Gear I can barely wrap my head around. It's just kind of screwy. It's like the first comic he ever did. It's just cats battling. Is there swearing in that too? No, I don't think so. But it's very gory. I have 2 versions of it. I have the original colored version, and then he put out a 20th anniversary edition of it where he kind of took out all the guns and replaced them with like phasers or something, with like laser guns. And then he tried to like bring down the gore and the maybe there was some swearing in it originally. I don't remember, but if he did, he cleaned it up in the new edition of it. Like there was a panel where somebody shoots a bullet through a bird in the sky, and now it's like a laser beam going through a bird. So I don't know. But he changed every gun. into like a laser gun to make it a little less inappropriate for children, I guess. What time is it? 9:19. Oof. I don't have time for nothing. So I gotta do something at 10. Here's his collar. The collar to his elaborate jacket. Here's a drop shadow on his elaborate jacket. Another drop shadow on his elaborate jacket. His little ascot-y thing on his elaborate jacket. Inside collar. Inside of the collar on his elaborate jacket. His crossbones bow tie. Cuff. Denton Crux. Real piece of work. Denton Crux. Kill him. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, he also has these little... I think I'm doing that the wrong way. I am, but I don't care. That's fine. Chalking it up to the way he's standing. I don't know. Got these little flappy pocket things. I've neglected this whole page. Oops, I drew it up here. You couldn't see me do that, but I drew them up there. Let's see. His neck bones. And then and I know I should be kind to my future self, but I think I'm going to finish this and I'm not erasing it today because I got to rush. I thought I finished this panel. Dang it. Stop doing that. All the water's gone. Though I don't think it's water. In my HO, it's not water. In my humble opinion, it's not water. I just keep calling it water. In my HO, it's not H2O. If I had just said that, no one would have known what I was talking about, I don't think. Wow, everybody, that's the page. And I'm not erasing it, I just don't have time. But at least I erased that other page, huh? Baby steps. So I'll be back tomorrow with another page. Now it's your turn. You ink a comic page. Show us what you learned. And I don't know. I got nothing. Come back tomorrow. I'll be inking. Thanks for watching. Keep on watching. This has been Ink the Book Show. Guys, give peace a chance.